What's up, y'all? I want to talk a little bit about the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction that is taking place right about now, exacting on April 21st, but the energy is felt already, okay? These are slow-moving planets, so we're already in that realm of, just experiencing it. So yeah, this is a transit that only happens every 14 years or so. However, not always in the same sign. The last time that it took place in Taurus, which is what's the sign it's in right now, was in 1941, which is when we had World War II. And prior to that, it was in 1858, which was 2 years before the Civil War started. Now, I don't want to alarm you, but I just want to basically give credit to the fact that this is a rare, semi-rare transiting aspect, and it's definitely here to shake up things because these are generational planets, so it is going to have quite a felt impact on society and the collective as a whole, right? Like, we're all going to be feeling this. And we have heavy hitters like Jupiter, which is related to faith and wisdom and knowledge and luck and abundance and expansion. It can also be related to, like, religion, somewhat in the realm of like politics, all things related to like foreign policy, foreign exchange, foreign travel. And then we have Uranus, who is known as the Great Awakener. Uranus usually brings really abrupt, sometimes unpredictable shifts and changes that are, for the sake of challenging social norms, and pushing us towards the future, pushing us into new ways of thinking, like as a collective. And Uranus, it brings disruption. So we're about to have experiences that are disruptive, but for the sake of expansion and growth. And this can be a little uncomfortable, but it can also be exciting. Thanks to Jupiter, Jupiter being the benefic, it does bring hopeful, optimistic energy, kind of has that Midas touch. So we know that even if there are things happening right now that do feel uncomfortable, that do feel foreign and new to us, and we're all trying to figure it out, it can be for the sake of, change over time that can be positive. And I want to point out events that are already actually related to this this transiting aspect. So if we look at things that maybe took place on April 15th, we saw the pro-Palestinian protests that took place across the country. And this is, a continuation of protests that have been going on for months since, the genocide, which has been ongoing for decades, but has really been amplified in awareness across the globe since October. Ongoing, genocide and violence. And we're seeing, greater disruptive protests. We've already been seeing the boycotts and all these things. So, Uranus and Jupiter, they've been in Taurus. So we've already been seeing these things happening. They've already been in the same sign, working through consumerism, changes happening, in our capitalist society. People are feeling distress, which is Uranus and Taurus. People are feeling the ways in which we need change really badly in our economic system, in our political system. People are already complaining about prices. People are already complaining about where are our tax dollars going. We just had tax season ended on April 15th. So April 15th was a very eventful day. But yes, to talk more about the protests that happened on April 15th, we saw pro-Palestinian protesters disrupt and shut down an international airport, which would be related to Jupiter, which is related to international travel, for the sake of something that is not even happening in this country, but this country has influence over that, right? So this is foreign policy, foreign exchange, foreign travel being disrupted for the sake of humanitarian efforts, which both Jupiter and Uranus are related to growth. And I feel like, in a way that is societal, and when it comes to growth and expansion, and when it comes to faith, and when it comes to pushing the boundaries of the status quo, and learning, these are things that are usually helpful to be done in community and to be done in numbers. So we are seeing that strength in numbers, and how true that is right now. But yeah, so they shut down the international the Chicago O'Hare International Airport shut down 2 lanes. They also shut down the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, that kind of being related to Mercury in retrograde, with it being cars, with it being, probably a lot of like angry drivers. That was something that was like a delay or a setback for people, that Mercury in retrograde is something that frustrated people. But it's raising awareness, causing disruptions for the sake of growth and education in our society. That is what Jupiter in Uranus is about. It's about pushing our society forward and us growing. It's also about humanity. With it being in Taurus right now, it has a lot to do with land. It has a lot to do with the environment. It has a lot to do with climate change. So we're already seeing the civil unrest. Like I said, people are questioning, the impact that our the powers, the countries, the governments, the things that are the top 1%. We're questioning things. We're questioning the money. Where is the money going? Like, we are wanting change, and people are in a space where they are ready to make change and disrupt the natural flow of order to create the change that they want to see. And a lot of people are probably feeling really uncomfortable right now, trying to figure out like what's next. And I think a lot of people are finding in themselves what it is that they feel like they need to do to be a part of the greater movement towards liberation. And I think that is what is a lot of happening right now, and what has already been happening. And, all of it is slowly a build up to greater shifts that are taking place right now. Also, we talk about Jupiter being something that does bring like faith and hope and optimism. These big disruptive protests at the Chicago O'Hare International Airport, on the Golden Gate Bridge, even the fact that Iran, Yemen, Lebanon, and Iraq, they sent missiles into Israel. We have people standing up against these powers that be. There were videos and reports of Palestinians in Gaza, in the West Bank, tearing down a section of the apartheid wall that separates Gaza from Israel. We're talking about land, Taurus. We're talking about land. We're talking about physical borders, and not allowing that to be something that is restrictive to humanity. Because all of this in Gaza is about land. It's about the indigenous people, right? Jupiter, Uranus, and Taurus. This is a shift. I feel like that is going to continue to hopefully be in favor of the land and the people. Taurus, like I said, being related to climate change, being related to land. Taurus is related to women, femininity. We're already seeing the things that are happening with reproductive rights. People are getting really fed up with a lot of the changes that have happened, and we don't want to regress back into the society that we once were, when things were not actually in alignment with freedom and liberation for people. And that is what Uranus and Jupiter are about. It's about creating that disruption to, actually maintain and even encourage greater freedom and true liberation for people. That's what this time is about. So if you're feeling uncomfortable, if you're feeling like you're ready to grow, if you're feeling like you're ready to do more, be more, go beyond, live outside of the box a little bit more, disrupt, the mundane a little bit more, question and, defy the status quo a little bit more, this is the time to do that, and this is why. Another example of things that are happening right now is like in Dubai. Apparently they have a big cryptocurrency convention going on, and they're having issues right now with their infrastructure not being able to handle rain. And it's not a lot of rain, but I think it's a lot of rain for Dubai. But is that not climate change? And it's literally affecting a cryptocurrency convention. There is disruption happening when it comes to the economy. Tax day was April 15th. Where are the taxes going? A lot of people are boycotting the taxes right now, causing a disruption in the economy. I want to just make some notes of things that happened in history to give you an idea. So the last Jupiter-Uranus conjunction was in 1941, which was World War II, which has inspired a lot of women to join the workforce. And then even when the war was over, women were not ready to go back to being docile and submissive. So it really uprooted another push forward in the women's rights movement. In 1941, Disney animators went on strike because Walt Disney would not acknowledge the inequality in pay. We've already been seeing strikes happening. So that's a strike in the art world, right? Things that we could see happening right now. Strikes that are related to art, women, reproductive rights, land. We'll also see advancements in technology. In 1941, the first computer was made in Germany for the sake of the World War II. Also being mindful of the correlation between this transit to war, because in 1941 we had World War II. In 1858, when this transit happened last, before 1941, it was 2 years before the Civil War started. We're seeing tensions flare between Israel, the U.S., Iran, Russia. I'm out of time.